Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm here today to do a review on the RS-30 Reflex Sight Combo Kit from Piaggio. Okay, so I hope I'm saying that right. I picked this up on Amazon. I hope I'm saying the name Piaggio right. So I picked this up on Amazon, and what this is this is a reflex sight with a magnifier on it, and the magnifier will flip out of the way when you don't want to use it. So we're going to talk about each one of these separately and give you the specs on them, and then show you what we did when we went to the range. We took it to the range and let my son Jacob shoot it, and I shot it a little bit as well. We tried to get it over on a 25-yard range, but there were so many people at the range that day. We ended up shooting it at the 50-yard range, and it performed fairly well there, but we'll talk about that toward the end of the video. So let's run you down to the specs on this, and we'll talk about each one and then give you a rundown on shooting it and overall opinion of this thing. So this is the RS-30 sight on the front, and this is the M37 magnifier on the back. The magnifier can mount on the right or the left hand side, so you can mount it to where it'll rotate to the right or to the left is what I should say. This is a 1.5 to a 5 magnifier. It has a focus on the back, and that's very important to use that focus. You'll see me in the video if I put that clip in tweaking with this thing, because when I first got it up there, the reflex sight was blurry. So I had to do a little bit of adjusting with that and a little bit of adjusting for Jacob so it wasn't blurry for him. So it has a focus on the back, comes in really handy. This has a 25mm objective on it. It has a 2.2 to 3.6 inch eye relief, so I really like that. You're not going to get banged up with it. You can see there, that's about, and this weapon is clear, but that's about where it needs to be for me to be able to see out of it comfortably. So I've got plenty of eye relief, so I'm not going to be banging my eye with the recoil of this rifle. This is 5.2 inches overall, and it weighs 12.8 ounces with the mount. So it is not a light combo here. So if you have an ultralight build or a skeleton build or whatever you want to call it, this is a little bit of a heavier optic with the magnifier on here. The reflex sight itself is not that bad as far as weight goes. The reflex sight has no magnification, as a pretty much standard reflex sight. It has unlimited eye relief. It has this only weighs 5.4 ounces, so it by itself is a nice lightweight reflex sight. That's with the mount as well. It has a overall length of 3.74 inches. This is a super bright reflex sight, which I'm going to take it off of the gun and show you guys this thing up close, so I don't have to be trying to maneuver this gun and pointing it back at me to show you the reflex sight a little bit better. But this is red. It only has the red, doesn't have a red and green like some of them out there has a push button switch on the side right here. Just push that and it turns right on, which we'll show you in a minute when we get to the up close. Has a selector on the back, and you can select from 4 different types of in other words, completely slipped my mind. 4 different kinds of sights is basically what you can pick from. This has a star, it has a cross, it has a bullseye, and it has a dot. We're going to show you all those here in just a second. So that is the specs on these things. So we're going to show you this thing up close, but before we do that, we're going to put in a little video here of me and my son at the range shooting this, and we are shooting this at 50 yards at a local public range. Now that I can see, I think it's... Okay, try that. I would be out there. Back on the conicals. Okay, let's see if we can hit anything here.
That's right here. I'm tripping.
That's getting better. Good. Help when you focus. Go away, butterfly. That's probably a moth. Okay, so there you see us shooting this thing. We had a fun time with it. I would have liked to have got on the 25-yard range and shot it there, but we had a fun time with this, and you can see there, super bright day. It was warm, it was sunny outside. We went trout fishing afterward, and it was a warm, bright, sunny day, and neither one of us had any issues with seeing this thing in the bright daylight. So it is really, really nice and bright, and it's easy to change the power on this thing. It's easy to mount this thing up to. Mounts up to any standard Picatinny rail. Both of them will mount up to your standard rail. And the spacing between these two doesn't seem to matter. I had it close, and then I had I couldn't get in there to select it like I wanted to, so I put it far away, and I just to try it out. And then I ended up with putting it there, and I had no problem seeing it with the magnifier through any of those. Now the magnifier, it does mount up like any kind of scope, and you're going to want to adjust the length from your eye, the eye relief, to get it in the optimal position. So let's put this gun down and show you a little bit more about this reflex sight up close. Okay, so this is the RS-30 from Fiocchi, and you can see here it has a mount that comes with it, and it has a, I'll get those bolts from sight now. It has the adjustment on it on the top and the side. And one thing I didn't like about the adjustment is you have to have an Allen wrench with you. So if you go off and forget your Allen wrenches, and it is a metric Allen wrench, so if you go off and forget your Allen wrenches, you know, you're not going to be able to adjust it then. And if you going to borrow some Allen wrenches from someone else, the chances of them having a metric one may be slim. But I took my metric ones with me, so it has the activation switch right here on the back. You just push that, and the thing turns on. And it's hard for me to tell back here if you guys can see it or not. I can see it. Hopefully you guys can too. There it is right there. And you can see there, just by changing up that dot, pushing that on the side, it changes the brightness. And by flipping this switch right back here, it changes the, there it is. It changes the sight itself. And let's see, where is that thing? This is really hard to do. So there's your bullseye, I believe. There's your crosshair. There's your dot, and there's your, I don't know what that last one might be, the star. So you can see there, it's nice and bright, and it's easy to turn on and turn off on the side. It's easy to adjust the side of it. That's another reason where I put it where it was, is because when I have the gun out there, I could reach up and push the thing on and adjust the brightness with my hand pretty easily. The other thing I like about this is it has an auto off. So after this sets for an hour, it will automatically turn off. So that's an up close look at the Reflex. So let's talk about how this thing worked on the range. When we took it to the range, like I said, we wanted to sight it in at 25 yards, but we just couldn't get on the 25-yard range. You know how, guys know how it is when your public range is busy on a nice day. It's hard to get on the closer range. 100-yard range I could shoot at all day, but 25-yard range, it's really, really hard to get on that 25-yard range sometimes. So we sighted in at 50 yards, and that was really nice to have the magnifier at that distance. Once we got the magnifier, once we got it focused and you could see it nice and clear, the 5X at 50 yards was a pretty decent magnification. At 100 yards, it's probably not going to be that great, but at 50 yards, it was more than adequate at 50 yards to be able to see the target and be able, I couldn't really tell where I was hitting with this 223, but it was more than adequate to be able to magnify that target and make it to where it was easier to see for sure. So I like the way that it flips in and out. I like to be able to use this with or without it. I kind of prefer to use this without it. I noticed the accuracy on both of them was about the same. The magnifier did not seem to help my accuracy too much at 50 yards, but it did help me to be able to see the target better. So I think in a hunting situation, this would be good. In a home defense situation where something's going to be up close, I don't think this would be good. So that's why I like the versatility of being able to move it in and out of the way. When I store this at home, it's going to be just like this. It's going to have this magnifier pushed out of the way, and if I want to go hunting with it, I can push it over and I can use it then. But if I want to use this in a home defense situation, I'm going to use it just like this with a reflex sight only. And this is really my first time of using a reflex sight, and I was kind of leery about whether or not I was going to like it, and it turned out that I really did. I knew it was kind of sensitive to head position and that you could really move your head around, but I didn't have any issues at 50 yards hitting the target. I kept all of them within the circle. I can't say that I was putting up half-inch groups or anything like that, but I kept them all on an 8-inch circle, something like that, and was able to shoot it fairly accurately at that distance. So I really like this reflex sight for a home defense situation, because I can pull this thing up and I can keep both eyes open and I can see through that thing really easy. So I can see everything that's going on over here. I can see everything that's going on over here. I can easily identify my target and still see through my scope and still put that dot on the target when I need to. So I really like that for situational awareness of knowing what's going on around me. I'm not confined to a scope. I'm not confined to a magnification. So I really like the reflex sight for that. And with the magnifier, when I do need that or do want that, if I want to take this thing coyote hunting, I pop that into position and boom, it's right there. And I will say this about Fiocchi, I've got a couple of their sights, a couple of their scopes, and they are a solid built scope. This thing came in a really good, well packaged, well padded box. It had fast shipping. I got it on a Sunday. Came in 2 days. Came with extra batteries for the scope. Came with all the wrenches to adjust it. And it's just really well built for the money. I believe this is $145 on Amazon, and for me, that's about the price range that I want to stay in. I don't need, maybe one day I'll get into the super high-end stuff, but I don't need the super high-end stuff. I need to get the most bang for my buck, and that's what you're going to get with this Fiocchi stuff. And this RS-30 reflex sight combo is exactly that. You're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. And for me, I wanted to try a reflex sight. Wasn't sure I was going to like it. Wanted to try the magnifier. Wasn't sure I was going to like it. And this was a good way to go to get into it for a reasonable price. I won't say $140 is cheap, but for a scope combo like this, it's pretty cheap. But also got a quality built product. This thing is solid built. It's a lot of aluminum, a lot of metal in here, and not a lot of plastic. Everything on it seems to be tight. Like when you make your adjustments to it, it clicks nice. It clicks firm. When you tighten up your bolts on here, they don't want to strip out like some of the other cheap Chinese stuff. You know, when you rotate this magnifier in and out, it feels good. It feels nice and firm. It doesn't feel cheap. Doesn't feel loose. It tightens up nice. I mean, everything on it just feels really, really good. And when I took it to the range, I was really happy with the results that I got on the range as far as accuracy goes. So I like the versatility of it. I love it for a home defense situation. And I just think it's going to be a good combo to have on an AR. I don't know that I would put it on anything else that I've got, but I love it for an AR. Now, airsoft, BB guns, stuff like that, it's going to be great for that kind of stuff like that as well. But I wouldn't put it on, you know, a bolt action rifle or anything like that. It's not going to be, I wouldn't put it on anything like that. And I don't know that you even could. But this is perfect for this situation. You got a home defense gun, and you also can shoot a little bit distance if you need to by flipping this magnifier up and putting it right in the situation. And when I put this thing in there too, the acquisition is quick. I mean, I put it right through there. I can see my dot. It goes on quick, and it's super easy to do. I don't have to be moving my head around or doing anything like that. So acquisition of the Reflex sight with this magnifier is super easy and really comfortable and really easy to do. It doesn't feel awkward or anything like that like I thought it would. That's what I was really afraid of, is that when I pulled it up, I'd be doing stuff like this and trying to get it all lined up and things like that. But I had no issues with that at all. So check this thing out. I bought this, like I said, I bought this on Amazon, this combo on Amazon for 145 bucks. Great little combo, very versatile and solid build. I love the stuff from Fiachi, and it's probably a company that I'll stick with and continue to buy stuff from as I buy more stuff for my rifles, because I could get the most bang for my buck with Fiachi and get a good quality, well-built product as well. So check this out. We'll put a link to the Amazon store below. We'll probably even put this link on Amazon, or put this video on Amazon and put the review up there. I usually do that with stuff that I buy on Amazon. But we'll put the link to Fiachi, to this combo below, so you can check it out there. And definitely give it a look if you're looking for something that's versatile for home defense as well as a hunting situation, or just to take to the range and have a good time at the range. I was really impressed with this, and me and Jacob had a lot of fun shooting this thing. So check this out. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. Please be sure to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook under Ike's Outdoors. And we appreciate you guys watching these videos and spending some time with us. And we will see you next time.